Crashing balls will fall the hardest, the higher up they've gone. Victors mock the vanquished, depending just how well they've won. Vicious dogs will bark the fiercest if you show how much you're scared. Ex-lovers, often more spiteful when you show you really cared. Fake tears may flood a river when they're cried so strong, so hard. Pulp writers write a sequel, some believe they are the bard. Yes, poets, girls and dogs and stuff can drive you off your nut. Best pretend you can't hear them and make sure your eyes are shut. Crashing balls should be avoided, mustn't be allowed to pounce when they fall. Remove their trampolines, that way they'll never bounce. Thank you.
Yeah.
Never steal another man's rhubarb, never fake a faint nor swoon. You may find yourself molested by an ape or large baboon. Never tickle a turtle's toenails, no, never bushwhack a gnu. Never paint a panda purple, nor thieve its prize bamboo. Never dangle a donkey's carrots in a pot of quick cement. The beastie might get panicked, and whilst the veg will end up bent. Never mince the words of strangers, never hang them on a line. If you sharpen your machete, then your kids will never whine. Never cremate your maiden uncle, never ask him home for tea. Never join a roller disco unless they let you in for free. Never play a striptease cribbage in a wardrobe made of cheese. You'll never get the smell out and it'll only make you sneeze. Never ride a rogue fish finger, never let it toss you loose. It will try to snap your head off and drag you back to its caboose. Never try to hug a phoenix, no, not even if you're cold. Never flirt with sleepy badgers, they won't do a thing they're told. Never trap a hound dog's ego, nor pursue a pussy's purr. Never wash your hair with acid unless you want to shed your fur. No, never steal another's rhubarb, for such a thing may cause to do. As if you stole some fella's rhubarb, if I were him, then I would sue. Thank you. This one's called A Cure for All Known Ills. If you're feeling a bit under the weather, if you're lacking that get up and go, if you're not in the mood to make trouble, then there's something that you ought to know. There is something to cure all your blues now, which may be a quite shocking surprise. The meaning of life wrapped in pastry, a gravy-soaked pleasure, sweet pies. If you're feeling a tad kind of woozy, if you're feeling a bit overawed, if you're trying to smile and be jolly, but you're feeling quite frankly a fraud. If you're lost and you need some direction, then you need only look into my eyes. A solution to all of your problems. It is pies. Yes, it's pies. Lovely pies. If the news you're receiving ain't appealing, if you're feeling that life's quite a bore, I'll assure you you're quite incorrect, see. My advice you just cannot ignore. Should you judge that your days aren't worth living, I will prove that those thoughts, they are lies, that you'll find you a brand new beginning. Just try devoting your future to pies. If you're unsure of the route you've been taking, if you're curious to try something new, I'd suggest try a nice Cornish pasty or a fair suet sponge Irish stew. There is nothing that cannot be cured now, a life-changing decision so wise. Yes, an idol that won't disappoint you. Just one word, and that word, it is pies.
Round and round and up and down, here and there at the annual fair, sailing ships that sail through the air, throwing darts to win a cuddly bear, catching ducks on the end of a line, guaranteed to win a prize every time. Funfairs are great, and when the weather was fine, Mum and Dad and the rest of the clan would sit on the big wheel, and our plan would be to see just as far as anyone could see. I saw the sun, and that's a long ways away. Thus we would spend our funfair day. It was hard to say goodbye. My little brother Mark started to cry, and I nearly did, but I hid the fact well. I pretended I fell and hurt my knee. That made Tony, the eldest, go but he was also sad. Oh, glad to say that we'd come again to the fair another day, and we were sure it would be exactly the same. I have walked into rooms where silence is reigned, rooms where words should have been spoken and said, but were screamed out in the quietness instead. Words like, "What are you doing here? You ought to be dead." Stony-faced yet alive, I switch on the television I keep in my head. Contrive to keep calm, of course, I shouldn't have come. For some, I will always be seen as that drug stumble bum. They never forget it. They can't give me the time. No friends of mine. I knew them all once a long time ago when the seasons went slow and the sun burned us brown. Down in the town where I grew, from where I flew. Now, many years later, I find they no longer cater for those who jump ship. If they expect me to slip quietly away, they never knew me at all. I call out to the silence and the ghosts of the past. I am back home, I have returned at long last. What remains are the shadows and the echoes of years, drowned out by the unwelcome fears that I held for so long, and soon, even as I call, the shadows are gone in the light of the day. The television that plays in my head is off grid. I go back in the box and someone closes the lid, and again, silence. You don't know what to make of that one, do you? I can't remember. Oh, this one's called Perms. I don't think it's anything, I really don't think it's anything to do with permanent waves somehow. The choice is to choose. To take time or lose, or to love life or muse on the waste. So make haste while you may, for at the ending of day there will be more time than enough to lay idle. Stuff your head full of dreams. Write in your thoughts, words and reams, full of fancies in flight, and of sunbeams that splash in the sea of the night. Of moons caught in spaces so light, tight little scenes, where happiness gleams in the smile of your eyes, where wrinkles surprise that look on your face in the mirror at dawn, where the fawn crouches to drink and the deer thinks to look on. Lost and alone, time has been known to wander, so squanders a choice to choose, to live fast and to lose the myriad wonders there are, which are all on a par with none. Choose wrong, and they're gone.
This is called I Want Them to See Me on Top of the Pops. No, they never thought I'd do it. They considered me a waste. They all dismissed my talent, but they did so now in haste. Now they feel stupid that they dissed me. Now they want to make amends, because they want to tell their neighbours that we're really best of friends. Now they say they really miss me. Well, they're talking total tripe. They don't even like my music. No, they've just fallen for the hype. So I want them to see them. I want them to see me. I want them to know that I'm high in the charts on their telly. Hello. I want them to stare at me, see my face on the sleeve. I want them to gape at me, yeah, till they really believe. They thought I was nothing, one of life's funny flops, so now I want them to see me on top of the pops. No, they didn't think I'd make it, laughed at me until the horse. Yes, they thought that shelf stacking was my only tour de force. Hell, they never thought I'd do it up there with the starry few. The only lineup I was fit for was the unemployment queue. They took pet bets that I would lose it, be the first to flounder, drown. But now my face is on a billboard, and it's all over London town. Well, I want them to see me. Yes, I want them to sigh. I may well be polite, nod my head and say hi. I want them to notice me there on Parkinson's lap, dressed only in tinsel and my usual slap. Yes, they thought I was nothing, one of life's foolish fops. Come on, let them see me there on top of the pops. Well, they love to claim we made it and say their help was quite a plus, that we only made the big time because all they did for us. What about when things were crappy and we were sliding with despair? Well, when we couldn't sell a ticket, guess what? They weren't there. No, they only want to know us now our luck has changed for good. They expect us to be welcoming like there was hope we ever would. How I love when they see me. Yes, it's true, I confess. No, they wish they were me, simmer jealously, bless. I want them to dress like me whilst adoration grows strong. I want them to see me before it starts to go wrong. Want them to know I was something before everything stops. Be quite sure they've all seen me on top of the pops. Oh yes, I want them to see me on top of the pops. I really want them to see me on top of the pops. But what if they're shocked and each foolish heart stops? Can't say that I care, as long as they see me on top of the pops.
Hooray!
I used to have a friend who I used to write with. He used to call me his creative GNU rather than his creative guru. So I thought I would write a poem called My Creative GNU. My creative GNU, he is there to advise. There is none that I know who is nearly so wise. Yes, his knowledge is special, dare I say it essential. There's no doubt this GNU has fantastic potential. He's a creature of vision, and that vision won't blur. He's the one who designed the brown bear's booming gur. He's the one who foresaw last week's new biggest hit, and who fashioned instructions which taught me to knit. My creative GNU, he is quite unsurpassed, tapping into his talent, cross your paws that they last. My creative GNU, my creative GNU, he is full of creations that are brilliant and new. His ideas are the kind that cannot be berated. Yes, they're clever and wholesome and never X-rated. My creative GNU is a wonderful beast, so superbly inventive once his thoughts are released. His ideas can't be faulted, they are always precise. There's no doubt my GNU whips them up in a trice. Of his skills he's so modest, not some arrogant boaster. He's the one who invented the time-travelling toaster. The one who came up with vegetarian ham, with a pocket-sized pie with self-spreading jam. My creative GNU, he's a wonderful fellow. His ideas should be bottled and captured in jello. My creative GNU, my creative GNU, he is full of creations that make you go woo. His ideas are the sort that cannot be insulted, as he ensures that all cats cannot be catapulted. My creative GNU really should be saluted. He's a force to be reckoned with, not a force to be muted. With his grand master plan, he will solve all our woes. There's no doubt this GNU will be missed if he goes. Such a great inspiration, my dear pal, mon ami. It is he who ensures that ham really tastes hammy. He's the one who designed buffalo underpants, bobble hats just for moths, pogo sticks used by ants. My creative GNU, there's no end to his wonder. It's a talent to celebrate, which he knows not to squander. My creative GNU, he's full of creations, brainwaves that just grew. His ideas are the type only GNUs seem to fathom. I'm not sure how they do it, I'm just so glad that they have them. Thank you. There was an old lady from Bude who was often seen out in the nude. She was a fan of the bean, hung around the gay scene, and could fop to the tune of Hey Jude. Thank you. Let's see you again.